My name is Sarah, and some of you know me as the Paris Quiz Mistress. I host trivia nights in Paris, and I'm a lifelong trivia addict. My obsession has led me to meet lots of cool and nerdy people from around the world, and this podcast is a chance to find out how my trivia pals got into this weird and wonderful world of quizzing, and why we continue to torture ourselves with it. So play along when we put our knowledge to the test and try to stump each other with our best zingers. Stay tuned for lots of trivia and nerdery. Let's geek out together. Welcome to the Paris Quiz Mistress podcast, Nicolas.
Welcome, Sarah, to my home, because I feel like you're in my home right now.
Oh, that's very cozy. But I am not in your home. Where is your home?
My home is in Strasbourg. Where is your home, Sarah?
I'm in Paris, in accordance with my brand name.
Yeah, I figured.
So you are in Strasbourg, and your name is Nicolas. That's very Christmassy. It's very appropriate for my December episode.
Indeed.
Is Strasbourg quite Christmassy this year, or
it's
not so much?
It's less Christmassy than usual, because the Christmas market is closed. But you have also the big Christmas tree in the city center. You have all the decorations, so it's still Christmasier than Paris, but it's less Christmassy than usual.
You like Strasbourg for their Christmas markets and festivities, no?
Yeah, it's very, and the food. Yeah, the Christmas food basically there, the biscuits and all the nice little things to eat.
So Nicolas, I was thinking, and we did meet at a quiz, and then we worked together for, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, almost 4 years. Yeah.
Do you want to take us back?
Yeah, how much time do you have? Yeah, we are basically like a movie story of quiz-related quizzery. We met at a pub quiz, and then we became like quiz friends, and then we worked together, and I figured we became friends after that or during that. So yeah, quiz is a big part of our relationship, I would say.
I agree. So I'm curious. So we met at the bar who shall not be named.
No, I don't remember the name, so yeah, we should not name it.
We should not name it. You were actually the person in the story, if anyone remembers from the last episode, I talked about the Anvers Antwerp incident of 2015. Yeah. Do you recall?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Well, for regular listeners, Nico was the protagonist of that story.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, by the way.
I'm still really sorry about that. But yeah, so you showed up at the quiz one day. You weren't even there for the quiz, were you?
Basically, the story is I wanted to watch a game with a friend, and he was a bit lazy to go out of his neighborhood, so I traveled across Paris just so we could watch the game together. And it happened to be the same pub as you were hosting a quiz, so we played the quiz, I think, and it rekindled some quiz memory for me. So I went back the next week and the week after, and I brought back every time different friends, and then we became, I guess, regulars until we started working together. And so since I was seeing you every day, I didn't need to go to the quiz anymore. I see.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a crossover moment.
Yeah.
What were the quiz memories that were like being rekindled?
Well, it all happened when I was a kid, I guess. When I was a kid and maybe a young teenager, I spent a lot of time at my grandparents, and they were a big fan of the TV show in France called Question pour un champion. And I think all the French listeners will be like, yes, that's my favorite show. And basically watched every episode between 1990 and 1999. And it really was a good moment for me, because it was at the end of school day, and it made me feel close to my grandparents. And then as a young adult in Saint-Étienne, where I'm from, I had like a crew of guys, the same as in Paris, and we went every week to a pub in Saint-Étienne called the Smoking Dog. If they're listening, hi. And we went there for like 2 years. We went every week. We were big regulars. We also hosted a few quiz there. So when I was back in Paris into your pub quiz, it felt a lot like good old days, and yeah, it was a bit of a, basically it's a threefold story for me: quiz, kid, young adult, and old guy in Paris, as you knew me. Yeah.
You're not that old.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm older now. Let's just say that.
We're all older after this year.
Yeah, but my quiz game is a bit rusty, like my English maybe. So we'll see.
Nah.
We'll see how I do today.
So I will be very gracious and invite you to quiz me first.
Since February 1st, 2020, and the departure of our British friends from the EU, how many countries in the EU will have English as an official state language?
Oh, I know this. I believe it is 2, and I think that they are Malta and Ireland.
Yeah, good answer, Sarah. And apparently there are also some municipalities in the Netherlands that have English as an official language.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting, but it's not like state language. But yeah, only 2 and not the biggest countries. So next questions. So this one is an interesting one. So do you know the term in French and also in many other languages for the cinematographic technique of filming a night scene during the day, known in English as day for night?
Day for night. So it's a French term that's used in cinema.
Yep.
Day for night. So French is nuit, jour et nuit.
It's cuter than this.
Soleil, lune, nuit de...
Imagine if it's the right answer. No, the answer is la nuit américaine.
La nuit américaine. Ah.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I find out that are American since moving here.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And apparently it's also the term in many other languages, like
Interesting.
German and others. Yeah.
I learned le plan américain.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's like when you have the picture showing like the torso and head of someone.
Yeah. It's sort of like a 3/4 portrait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. But then also, what else did I learn? Cuisine américaine, American kitchen. We just call it a kitchen.
Yeah, we just call it a kiss, so.
Smooching.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Nuit américaine. Okay, now I know.
So next question. So since you've been living in France for 10 years, what is the usual weight of a baguette? In grams, obviously.
The weight of a baguette. I don't know. So yeah, did that sound French?
That's the good answer. No, the answer is 250 grams.
250. I was gonna say 100. So
yeah, and apparently it's very like a regular official thing. So if it goes up there, they can sell it for more money, and if it's smaller, they are not allowed to call it a baguette or something like that. So
that sounds typical. Yeah.
Yeah. Next question. Which country that we both visited and we visited together is the home of the loudest sound ever heard in historic times?
The loudest sound.
Yeah, and I can give you a hint that this sound is not me contesting an answer at your pub quiz.
Lol. That was the loudest sound you've ever made. So was it Belgium?
Did we go to Belgium together?
I don't think so, but now I'm embarrassed again. I'm gonna say, because it seems like science-y and like weird things happen there, electromagnetically. I'm gonna say Finland.
That's an interesting answer, but that's not the correct one.
Is there any way you can give me a hint?
I can give you a hint. It happened in 1883.
The loudest sound ever is like an atomic bomb, not that loud, I guess.
Yeah, an atomic bomb is not that loud.
Oh.
No, I can give you the answer because I think it's so interesting and I'm dying to say it.
Please.
So it happened in Indonesia, and it's the eruption of the Krakatoa volcano in 1883. And a few trivia about this eruption explosion. It could be heard almost 5,000 kilometers away. And there they thought it was a cannon. And 160 kilometers away from the volcano, the sound is estimated to have been around 180 decibels. And the explosion must have been around 310 decibels. And it ruptured eardrums more than 80 kilometers away.
Jeez.
Yeah, and this big volcano thing impacted the world climate. And worldwide temperature the next year dropped by 0.5 degree Celsius almost. And they had this dust in the atmosphere, which created crazy sunsets, crazy orange sunsets for like years. And one of them inspired the painter Munch for his famous painting, The Scream.
Ah.
So it's good trivia right there.
That is good trivia. I have asked trivia questions about the Krakatoa explosion, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is we've been to too many countries together, Nicolas.
Yeah, I think around 15. So
did you do the whole list?
I think so, yeah.
Don't give it away yet. No, very cool. Indonesia, I think it's one of my top places to visit.
Same.
I love the food.
Sure. So next question. So we both speak French and English, but we mostly speak in English. You would agree with that for reasons. So about English, between these 4 languages, which one is the most related to English?
Ooh.
Basque, Nepali, Tagalog, or Finnish?
Okay, so Nepali, like from Naples?
From Nepal.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Pardon my French.
So I know that Basque is, nobody knows the origins. It's extremely mysterious.
It is.
To linguists. So I'm going to say not Basque. I know Finnish is also quite mysterious. I think that there's a little bit more clues about its origins, but I don't think there are a lot of other languages in the group. I think it might be like the only language in its group.
Yeah, I think there is Hungarian with it.
Okay. So that leaves Nepalese and Tagalog. So I don't really know what languages are influential in Nepal. I would guess like Hindi a little bit, maybe. And Tagalog is the language of like the Manila region, and it's the language on which the Filipino language is based mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of English language influence in the Philippines. I'm gonna go with Tagalog.
Yeah, you are very close, but it's actually Nepali because they are both Indo-European language. They have the same roots. So, yeah. So they're basically 6,000 years ago, they were the same language.
Do you have any examples of like words that are similar?
No, because I stole this question from The Guardian and they did not give examples.
Guardian has nice quizzes.
Sometimes they do, yeah, and puzzles and stuff. Yeah.
So I think it's time for a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, I deserve it.
So I'm going to start with a little geography for you. I would like to know, with its extravagant architecture and cosmopolitan culture of the late 19th century, what city earned the nickname Little Paris or Paris of the East?
That's interesting because, let me just think. What by the East you mean like the East or like the Far East?
So when I fact checked this question, there are lots of cities that are nicknamed Paris of the East, and there are lots of cities that are nicknamed Little Paris.
Mm-hmm.
So this clue could actually refer to 2 different cities, but only one of them we visited together.
Oh, interesting. I would say Bucharest.
Correct.
Yay.
It's very Parisian, no?
Yeah, I didn't feel that back when we visited, but I've read that too, so I remembered.
It is. I mean, they tried to do a little Osman sort of thing.
Yeah, there is something, yeah.
But it's like it's a whole mishmash of stuff, so it's quite an interesting looking city.
Yeah, I like it.
I love it. The other city that this could potentially refer to is Leipzig. So I believe that you have been brushing up on your Russian. No?
I want to answer in Russian, but I can't because I'm not brushing up enough.
I want to know what insect's name in Russian literally means God's little cow.
So you want me to answer like the Russian name or which insect it is?
You don't have to answer in Russian because I don't have the Russian answer.
I think it's the beetle.
Interesting guess.
No, not the beetle. The ladybug. Sorry.
Ladybug.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I knew this. I'm proud. I'm very proud.
It's cute. No, it has little spots.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's a bit like a small cow.
Yes.
It walks slowly and it's cute.
Adorable. So we're gonna stay over in Russia for the next question. In 1984, Russian developer Alexei Pajitnov created what classic video game that was originally marketed with the tagline "From Russia with Fun," and with over 495 million overall copies sold, it is the best-selling video game of all time.
Yeah, I know this answer, and apparently they're going to do a movie about this guy, and it's Tetris.
Correct, Tetris.
Yeah,
they're gonna do like a documentary.
Yeah, I think more like a biopic,
Oh, nice.
About his life and stuff, because apparently he was a bit robbed of the rights of the game because since he built it in USSR, he had no money from it. It was like a public thing, and once the USSR has been dismantled and stuff, some people bought the rights, and he was I think he was in a lawsuit to get back the rights or something like that. So pretty complicated, and then he moved to the US. I think it's a bit he has an interesting story, this guy.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, I think he's I think he will be at the premiere of his of the movie about his life.
When you said I think they're gonna make a movie out of it, I was picturing for some reason like the Transformers movie or one of those like crappy.
It's a movie about someone playing Tetris and you just see his screen, so it's just it's like an art film.
I was picturing like I don't know like Battleship basically.
But they made a movie with Rihanna.
I know.
So maybe Tetris will be with like Beyonce or something.
I'm just trying to picture like how they would like anthropomorphize all the pieces.
Yeah, rotate.
All right, we're going to stay on our little world tour here. I'm going to ask you about a place very near and dear to you, Scotland.
Ooh.
According to one theory, what word leaves out the E in the Scottish spelling because E is for England and we don't like England, now do we?
Ooh, I absolutely don't know the answer to this. Because I lived in Scotland, as you know, and I love this country and I love the people there. But I never really got into their folklore of hatred towards the English and stuff. I was just like laughing politely.
It is something that you do not enjoy any longer.
Ooh, so it could be many things, because there's no E in running and doing things, and thinking also. That's a tough one. No, I'll have to pass on this one. I'm sorry, Edinburgh. I'm sorry, Scotland, to disappoint you.
It is whiskey.
Oh yeah. Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there is like a Irish whiskey has an E and. Okay, that's why. Okay, I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's why. It's one theory.
Ah, that's a theory. Interesting.
It's a theory. But yeah, whiskey is spelled with an E, without an E. But if you're in Scotland, you better not spell it with an E.
Absolutely.
There you go. You're a very fun person to write a quiz for because you have very discerning taste.
Thank you.
I
take that as a compliment.
You have many strong likes and strong dislikes. I was going to try to write questions about your strong dislikes, but I could only come up with SOS Mac and and beetroot, Why don't you like beetroot again?
Well, because it's disgusting and tastes like dirt. Other than that, no real reason.
Okay. Well, I don't have any questions about beetroot, so I just stuck with things that you do like, I think, quite a lot. So, one of your favorite people ever, Prince.
Never heard of him.
He's a bit of a controversial figure.
Absolutely, yeah.
For many reasons. But one time he was a controversial figure was when which of his songs reportedly triggered a parents' movement for explicit music labeling, spearheaded by Tipper Gore. Of all people.
Yeah, I absolutely know the answer to this.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one because there is a song of Prince called Controversy. And this one did not create any controversy, but Darling Nikki did.
Correct.
Yep. Because there is like there are lyrics about masturbation and stuff. So for teenagers, it's a bit touchy. No,
I mean,
no wordplay on this.
I believe that's correct. Darling Nikki. You know, I heard that song for the first time as I believe it was the Foo Fighters cover.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Foo Fighters cover triggered Prince cover of their song "The Best of You" at the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Because he was like, "Oh, if they can do cover of my songs without any permission, so can I."
Prince did. That's a really bad song.
Yeah, but the cover is pretty good, so
I believe it would be. I'm gonna look that up right after this recording.
And yeah, and like the Foo Fighters discovered it watching the Super Bowl. They were like, "This is my song."
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, Prince, a legend.
Yep. I have a poster of him in my living room, so
It doesn't surprise me.
that's the only poster I have in my living room. So you see the importance of.
Which one is it?
I think it's still from it's the video from Little Red Corvette.
Nice. All right, moving on. Next question. Catherine Hamnett is a fashion designer known for her oversized t-shirts with large block letter slogans. George Michael wore a white t-shirt she designed in the music video for Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. What slogan was on his t-shirt?
I believe it was "Choose Life."
Correct.
Yeah. You are just hitting the right chords with me.
You love George Michael. You dressed up as George Michael for my birthday party.
Yeah, and I'm pretty happy about it because he's one of my favorite artists ever. So I know a lot about him, and I was very proud to be disguised as as him for your party.
Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, George Michael's here."
Yeah, I wish I was as handsome as he was.
It was good. You had some scruff happening. It was all right.
Yeah.
I was pretty convinced. Do you know the story behind the Choose Life shirt?
I didn't know that. No.
So Catherine Hamnett, she picked the slogan of she was inspired by like a documentary about Buddhism. So it was a comment, against war. And then, of course, the pro-lifers thought that it was for them. And she has repeatedly said, this is not an anti-abortion slogan at all. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured it wasn't something like that because it would have been a thing people said about like Wham and George Michael, but they never did. So I figured it's not related to that, but I always wondered.
Yeah.
Seeing the Choose Life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird, amalgam. I always wondered that too. So
interesting.
Yep.
And especially since Wham was the first band playing in China once they opened up in the 80s. If there was something like with Buddhism and thing, it's interesting that they still picked Wham. They picked Wham over Queen.
Wow.
Apparently for a concert in I think it was in 85 or something like that.
Wow. So keeping in with your fandoms, I mentioned in a previous episode that there was a very big lawsuit about Trivial Pursuit and a fake question that was in Trivial Pursuit, which was Columbo's first name. So there was a Trivial Pursuit question that asked what Columbo's first name was, and the answer that was given was Philip. but that was a trick that the writer of this quiz book put in to see if anyone was like lifting his questions, because you can't copyright quiz questions. What I want to know from you is Columbo's first name is never mentioned in the series, but super nerds have been able to enhance stills of his police ID where you can clearly see what first name.
Oh, super nerds. Well, I guess I'm a super nerd because I think the name is Frank.
Correct. Nice. You are.
Yeah, I'm a big super nerd and Columbo fan, so
You're a super Columbo nerd.
yeah. I check all the boxes.
Are you keeping up your Columbo Tumblr account?
No, I moved away from this because first there were like potential legal issues about doing screenshots. So I didn't want to do anything with that.
It used to be, it was just interiors, right?
Yeah, because I don't know if you watched the show or if you ever watched the show,
I
but
have not.
since it happens in the 70s, mostly in California with rich people, you can see the interiors of what was expected back then to be rich people's interiors. So you have like designer couch and stuff like that, but from the 70s. So you have a lot of carpets, a lot of weird checkered cushions and stuff. So it's very, very 70s, and it's very pretty in a way. So
Cool.
it's interesting. And the desks looked so different back then. Like you have like a businesswoman, businessman desk, and you see a lot of files and folders and a telephone and a pen. No computer, no screen. So it's just like a desk for basically the desk were the same 100 years ago. You know,
What?
it's very interesting. It's a time capsule.
Yeah. What did they do all day?
I don't know. I'm making phone calls and writing letters. I don't know.
Wow. Next question I have for you. I wrote a sports question for you, Nicolas. Do you understand what this did to me?
I thank you for your effort, and I appreciate the commitment.
You're welcome. What do the following sports teams have in common? The Mexico national football team, the Oakland Athletics, the Philadelphia Eagles, and AS Saint-Étienne.
I know that the Mexican team has a green shirt, just like AS Saint-Étienne. I don't know the other two teams, but I would go with the green shirt or green jersey, green colors.
Green, yes.
Yay!
Good job. So, next question. In 1957, the BBC program Panorama aired an April Fool's Day report about a harvest of what in Switzerland, which was cited by CNN years later as the biggest hoax that any reputable news establishment ever pulled.
A harvest in Switzerland in 57.
Mm-hmm.
A harvest. So in the English, how do they say the Swiss? So maybe it was a harvest of maybe chocolate or watches.
No, okay. So it was a spaghetti harvest.
Oh God.
It's a really
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have you seen this video?
No, I will watch it right after this.
It's very funny because it's very, very straight-faced.
It's like The Onion, but 50 years before.
Hold that thought. Yeah, it was. So I think this is quite common every year now, news organizations doing April Fool's jokes. But yeah, this was kind of the first one that I could find. And yeah, they just show a bunch of people in Switzerland, in like, you know, sort of the Italian part of Switzerland, harvesting spaghetti from their spaghetti trees.
That's brilliant.
It's really funny. And yeah, apparently they had a lot of people calling in wondering how they can get a spaghetti tree to plant and grow their own spaghetti.
Oh God. Oh God. I think the author of this must be very proud still to this day.
Yeah.
If it's still alive or she's still alive.
Yeah. Classic. Okay. Next question. According to Marmiton, The following is a part of a recipe for what dish? I did my own translation, but from the original French. So, beat the mass with a large wooden spoon in a figure 8 for at least 15 minutes. To serve on each plate, lift the batter in long ribbons and cut portions with scissors.
I think it's aligot. Is it?
It is.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just listing all the things I like, and I'm pretty sure that's the answer.
Yep, that's how I wrote this quiz too.
Yeah, but I don't know if you ever made aligot, but it's very, very hard to do because this 8-figure thing to mix the cheese with the potato, it's very, very hard. And your arms are killing you after like 5 minutes, and you're supposed to do it for like 10.
You've made it before?
No, you can sometimes buy it like pre-made in like fresh Alias in supermarkets or stuff. But you still have to pour it in a pan and just mix. And it's just very, very difficult.
Could you describe what it is?
Aligot, yeah. It's like mashed potato mixed with fresh cheese. So I think it's not half and half, but almost. So it's like very creamy mashed potato with a lot of cheese in it.
Yeah, it's like rubber.
And yeah, and it tastes a lot like garlic. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Who's joined us?
That's Siri. I think she was triggered by the cheese thing.
Yes, Arigo. Yeah, you're a passionate Arigo fan. I like it.
It's very, very healthy.
You can't eat anything else that day.
You can do anything else that day.
No, you can't. No, it's Aligo is the whole day.
Yeah.
That's your activity. All right. So, are you ready for your lightning round?
Yes.
Okay. So, you are a big fan of The Onion.
I am.
And so, something that happens with The Onion sometimes. So the onion,
the newspaper, not the vegetable.
Well, you do like an onion.
I don't like the vegetable. I hate it.
Oh, you do hate onions?
Yeah.
What do you have against onions?
The taste, the texture, the look. They look dumb.
Well, all right. So I'm talking about the satirical newspaper. So something that's happened often in the Onion's history is that their headlines and their articles are republished as real stories by mistake.
Yep.
Often. This happens often. I have taken some of these examples of Onion articles that have been republished as real news instead of the satire that it is, clearly. Not to everyone. And I want you to fill in the blanks.
Ooh.
Yes. So here we go. Conspiracy theorist convinces blank that moon landing was faked.
So conspiracy theorists convince blank that moon landing was fake. Maybe astronauts?
Can you be more specific?
Maybe Neil Armstrong?
Correct.
Yay.
So silly.
So silly. Oh, it was republished. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Kim Jong-un named the Onions blank for 2012.
Oh, ooh, that's interesting. 2012. Oh. He named them, maybe MVP or something like that?
Something like that. Sexiest man alive. Yep. And last one. 1998 blank recruitment drive nearing goal.
Okay, let me ask you to repeat this one, please.
The recruitment drive for 1998. The blank recruitment drive nearing goal.
Wow, I have no idea.
It's not necessarily the year. Could be any year.
Maybe it's like something like Hogwarts. Or...
No, there were a lot of them about Harry Potter that I did not include. No, it's the homosexual recruitment drive.
God. Oh God, and it was published as a story. Jesus.
Yep.
This is like you could think like if it's published as a story, it would be like more credible than a regular Onion story, but no.
There we go.
Well, those questions were really good.
Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you so much. And enjoy December in Strasbourg.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
If you want more trivia from me, you can follow Paris Quiz Mistress on Instagram or Facebook. You can also sign up for my newsletter. You can come play along with one of my live quizzes, either virtually or at the pub, whichever the current moment calls for. And until next time, stay nerdy and keep quizzing.